Welcome, everyone. I go by the name of Camilio Salometer and my co-host, KB the Mark.
Because I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
Hey, you are watching the feature #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. With that being said, welcome to the D&B podcast. So today, we got y'all the Hell in 7. So, mainly, I believe this show was really setting up WWE to their next big pay-per-view, which will be SummerSlam in August. So we should really expect WWE to be setting up their next major feuds. So we should really see the next contender for Roman, if they're gonna continue this Mysterio and the whole tribe feud. And we should see, Lashley, the Almighty, next contender. And then, WWE, and also with the women's too. But other than those 4 titles, WWE don't care about them. But up first on the pre-show, we got Mandy Rose versus Natalya. Natalya, she won via submission. This match, to me, I believe it was good. I just don't believe it should have been on the pre-show, especially due to the pre-show being an hour long and we only getting one match. I believe if it's going to be a pre-show, it should be 3 matches minimum. Limit the talking. Limit all of the packages and everything. If you're going to show it in the pre-show, don't show it during the regular show. It is something that needs to be fixed because to me, that's a little bit too much talking. I swear on everything they do in the pre-show is what Talking Raw and Talking Smack is for. But, they be getting rid of those shows and bringing them back every now and then. You just don't know. Just mainly, if you're going to have an hour's pre-show, make the show more about wrestling and less talking. If you're going to have the pre-show, make 45 minutes of the pre-show wrestling, and then the rest of the time it could be the talking.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. And the problem with the pre-show, like you pointed out, is that if you're tuned into the pre-show, you see the video packages that you're going to end up seeing on the pay-per-view. So I've already seen it, so now I don't really care because I've already seen it. There are ways around that, like you said, putting more matches on there, also cutting down on the pre-show length. It shouldn't be an hour. If you're going to do a pre-show, make it about 30 minutes. That way, if you're only going to put one match on the pre-show, that makes sense. The match overall, it's Natalya. You know what the Queen of Hearts is going to do. She's a heart. That's all that needs to be said. They are slowly but surely trying to tell this story of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke being legit contenders, but I just don't see it. And they keep throwing jabs at each other. Your looks open the door for you. Well, if you didn't have your name, you wouldn't be here. My thing is this: I've seen Natty and Tamina put in the work. I haven't seen Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke put in the work. And Dana Brooke was with the Queen when the Queen was at her peak. And she couldn't get over. Mandy Rose had one of the greatest storylines with Dolph Ziggler and Otis. And look at her now. She's in the women's tag division over women's tag titles that they don't even care about. It's a waste.
Totally agree with you. Anytime I see a Natalya match, I expect good. And, she never disappoints. But another thing that WWE didn't disappoint, they sure know how to do either one or two things. You will never get both. They either know how to close a show good, or they know how to open one good, like they did with this. The SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Bayley in the Hell in a Cell match. this match was awesome. Y'all know I'll be saying things like I want to see a woman go through a table or off the top of the cell. If they can improvise how they did in this match and bring new things, how Bianca hit the KOD on the ladder, that was sweet, And then I like the storytelling in the match, how the hair was everything. The hair was a storytelling in the match. Who can do it first and everything. I like how Bayley was trying to, she wasn't gonna let her get her with it, but overall this match was it was great. It was great in my opinion. I believe out of her title defense, this is by far the best match she had so far.
Salamander, you're not going to keep disrespecting the EST of WWE, the quickest, the fastest, the smartest, the strongest SmackDown Women's Champion, Ms. Bianca Belair. I won't allow you to disrespect her like that. I will not. First off, the KOD on the ladder, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. The storytelling with the hair, excellent. But she's not the MVP of the match, and I hate to say it. It's Bayley. Bayley has the top 2 women's Hell in a Cell matches to record. The one with Bayley and Sasha last year was fire. It was fire. It was so fucking good. And I just went in here thinking, Bayley can't top this. She can't top that. That's all-time great for the women. But then her and Bianca come in and drop a classic. Because I was never worried about Bayley. I was worried about Bianca not living up to the moment. But Bianca didn't let me down. And Bayley put in a performance of a lifetime. When we look back over Bayley's career, we're going to put this match with her Sasha match. I want to say NXT Brooklyn, I think 15. They're gonna put that with that match. Bayley showed out. These two have tremendous chemistry. But man, it is. I'm running out of words to describe it, Salamander. It was that good. It didn't feel. It felt new. It felt like a different energy was breathed into the women's Hell in a Cell match. And then Bayley bickering with Michael Cole, telling Michael Cole to shut up. They know they watch me. Like, Bayley's heel turn has been the best thing that could have happened to her. And who would have thought when she tore up the Bayley buddies, that we would be here now with her own show and her own catchphrase, ding dong, hello, and putting on fantastic matches in Hell in a Cell and carrying the company. Because there was a time where Bayley and Sasha were literally carrying the company week after week. And they will go to NXT as well. And they were on Raw. That's how much they carried the company. But give it up for these two women, man. They put on a hell of a match.
I agree with you 100%. So the next match was Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Now, I know I have made the prediction that Cesaro was going to win. I kind of knew the back of my head that WWE was going to do 50-50 booking. But I was just hoping that Cesaro would win. But, I mean, yet again, even though he lost, this still don't damage his push that he's getting. To me, Cesaro, he still looks strong. I mean, the finish, it was odd. But, I mean, overall, the match was still good.
I told you at WrestleMania they would have a great match. And honestly, I wouldn't have these two fight at Money in the Bank. We're saving that blow-off match until SummerSlam. Because that's an excellent midway through the pay-per-view SummerSlam match. The crowd is coming down a little bit. The first couple of matches really took it out of them. Throw Cesaro and Seth out there and let them tear the house down. But yeah, this match was phenomenal. I loved Seth Rollins sneaking that win out, especially because Cesaro pretty much had control the entire match. And then Seth freaking Rollins finds a way to squeak it out. They don't call him the architect for no reason. And he found a way to sneak it out in the end. Kudos to Seth Rollins. And I don't want to see this on Money in the Bank. I honestly want to see this at SummerSlam.
Yeah, one thing as of right now in WWE with the whole roster, Seth Rollins and Cesaro, they are, if one of the best, if not the best in-ring competitors in WWE as of now. Yeah. Every match that each of them is in is always a great match. Always. It's never disappointing.
They're workers, man. They know what they gotta do.
Seth Rollins and Cesaro never disappoints. But you know what disappointed?
Let me know.
Shayna versus Alexa. I have 3 words for this. What the fuck? What the hell is this? I was expecting for WWE for this to be the last show in the Thunderdome, the last pay-per-view. I was expecting some type of magical cinematic something. No, we didn't get none of that. We just got basically Alexa possessing Shayna and then Nia and having Nia slap Reginald. It don't make sense. I'm gonna take the words of KB. Get this shit off my TV.
Well, Salamander, I'm going to disagree with you. The match was goofy, but you're thinking about it wrong, Salamander. They had to figure out a way to keep Alexa Bliss spooky for when they go to live fans. And why not do mind control?
Man, just think about it. A couple weeks ago, if I would say, since this is one of the most scariest movies in a while that's been made in a while, because scary movies don't be scary like that anymore. But The Conjuring 3 came out. The Devil Made Me Do It. That was scary. That just got released a couple weeks ago. I mean, they could have took something from there and they could have did something better than a simple that goofy possessed stuff that she just tried to do. Like, a kid could have did better. If you told a kid to act this out, they could have did it better. I have a lot of hope for Alexa with this new gimmick and everything, but this kind of did turn me off of it for real. But I think she don't know what to do without the Fiend. Like, she needs the Fiend presence to be there. Like, even if he's not there in ringside, just the fact that, he's still on the show weekly, because it makes her more scarier. I think she's not scary by herself, but the fact that she's in the presence and the Fiend presence is there everywhere she go makes her scary.
You're still looking at this wrong. You gotta think of the greatness that can happen. I can see it now, Salamander. Charlotte Flair beats Rhea for the Raw Women's Championship. And Alexa Bliss comes down with Money in the Bank. And she's going to cash it in. And she possesses or mind controls Charlotte and tells Charlotte to lay down. And she sits on her for the pin. It's fucking beautiful. It's something to send the fans home so mad that they'll have something to talk about for Raw the next day. Fucking beautiful. I don't understand why you don't see the beauty in this.
I don't like this at all.
What? She looked at Shayna Baszler, and Shayna Baszler relinquished the hold. She looked at Nia, and Nia smacked the shit out of Reginald. How do you not see the beauty in this? Matter of fact, bring in Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and have her control Triple H and tell Triple H to walk off holding Alexa Bliss and to pretty much laugh in Stephanie's face. I just gave you the storyline of the year. We'll be talking about it for years to come.
I just wasn't feeling this. I mean, they're gonna have to really, show more. Like, I'm gonna have to see the next couple weeks to see what they're gonna do with this character.
I just told you what they're gonna do with the character. She's the next Raw Women's Champion after Charlotte. She's gonna win Money in the Bank. She's gonna cash in, and she's gonna make Charlotte lay down.
I don't know. That's gonna. I don't know. I think if they do that, that's gonna potentially really hurt Raw. Like, that might be the end of Raw.
You can't get no worse than what
it don't make no sense.
You can't get no worse than what Monday Night Raw's women's division already is.
My thing is, if she do that, what's the point of wrestling? You shouldn't wrestle nobody. Once you get in the ring, you should just,
You're not seeing the bigger
picture.
And
lay down.
You're not seeing the bigger picture. Then we get a women's wrestler, whoever it is. She comes in blindfold, and that's how she beats Alexa, because she doesn't look at her.
I don't know. I seen a couple blindfold matches in WWE, and that was not good. It's gonna lead to her taking a peek, and she's gonna get caught like Medusa. But we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So with this, I was thinking, like, we seen this so many times. We're gonna get the same thing over and over and over. Sammy's just gonna get, put up a good match, but just basically get his ass beat and, call it a day, then that's it. But they surprised me. Sammy picked up the win. I did not see this coming. I actually thought, it's just gonna be another thing. Like, when they ain't got nothing, they wanted to keep Sammy and Kevin on TV. So when they ain't got nothing for them to do, the best thing to do is just put them together, have them feud. But most likely Kevin come out at the top all the time. But I was really surprised. I was really surprised on this. I was really surprised. Sammy picked up the win.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are destined to fight forever, because every time they lock horns in the ring, it's going to be a great match. This match was a little bit more brutal than most KO and Sami Zayn matches. From just, they beat the fuck out of each other. They beat the shit out of each other. It didn't make any sense. I mean, Sami Zayn was bleeding from the mouth, and I think KO's left arm was shot. I'm like, KO's in there fighting with one arm, and Sami Zayn's got a busted lip. Typically, their matches are more, 10 to 15 minutes of their greatest hits. But they was beating each other's ass all over the fucking ring.
They took greatest hits, literally.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. Like, they were everywhere beating the shit out of each other. And I'm like, this is way more brutal than I would have thought a KO and Sami Zayn match should be. But it was still great. This was, to me, this was match probably either number 2 or number 3 for best match on the card. But man, oh man, you just know they're destined to fight forever. I just wish there was a world championship on the line, because then I feel like we will really get KO and Sami at their absolute best.
All right, so we back to the BS. We got the Raw Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. We got a double turn. And then we also, got a disqualification at the end. And then that means that we gotta put up with this feud for some more time. I'm tired of seeing these two go up against each other, and I'm getting to the point where I'm tired of seeing them. Period. This is, I mean, if you gonna do this, put this on first, bro. Put this on the pre-show. What are you doing? Why is this co-main event? This was horrible. Some might feel good, some might feel like the match was good, but I'm tired of this storyline. I'm tired of seeing them on TV. I'm tired of them giving us, BS endings, disqualification. Man, like, I agree with you. Send Rhea back to NXT, where she was obviously doing better in, and then just put the belt on Charlotte, because that's what y'all want to do, but y'all don't want to, demolish Rhea, but y'all want the belt on Charlotte. Just fucking give it to her.
Yeah, I was very much confused. I was talking to a friend of mine because he called me right after the pay-per-view and was like, so can you explain that fucking finish between Rhea and Charlotte? And I was like, bro, I'm still trying to figure that shit out for my damn self, because I'm still trying to figure the fuck out if Rhea's a fucking face, or she's a fucking heel, or she just don't give a fuck. I'm very confused. And then for Charlotte to be like, you're learning, bitch, like, I'm pretty sure she knew what the fuck she was doing before you even got in the fucking picture, Charlotte. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And anyway, and then she follows it up by saying, I would just do what you would have done to me. And then it put everything in perspective. Rhea Ripley is nothing but a knockoff Charlotte. Everything clicked for me. Rhea's just a great value Charlotte.
I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
It ended on a disqualification. But not just any disqualification, all because she took the top of the damn table and hit Charlotte with it.
I mean, technically, that is a weapon. She used it as a weapon.
What about any time that motherfuckers fall through the table, motherfuckers get put through the announce table and they don't call it?
Well, that's because you're using their body to put them through the table. She literally took the top of the table off and hit her with it. It's dumb as fuck. I get it. But I also see it from the referee perspective. Technically, she used that as a weapon.
But that mug so thin, the rest will be like, hey.
I don't think you can call that thin. We've seen them set that up, and grown men don't even split that in half.
It's ridiculous. I'm just disappointed of the ending. I don't like that it ended as a disqualification. All this time we was building up this match. We done sacrificed Asuka and made her look like a joke just to end it in a disqualification, just to make it go longer into another pay-per-view. I don't get it at all. I don't get it.
Bro, I don't get it either, but I see all sides. I see all sides, but the only side that matters to me is, why the fuck do I even care? Why should I care about these two? Why should I give a fuck about these two? I'm waiting for WWE to answer the question.
Because they're going to put them in a tag together. That's why. I just thought about that. That's why they ended it like that. And what you said, that's basically Rhea is like another version of Charlotte. They're going to end up doing some type of BS and teaming them up together. Like, they're going to be feuding so many. Like, it's going to be a fucking Cesaro and Sheamus. Like, they're going to feud so much. They're going to know each other's moves. And then they basically feuding so much that they ain't going to have no choice. Like, well, let's just, team up. And then they're going to be a fucking badass team how the bar was.
I don't want to see that, though.
WWE always give us what we don't want.
I'm still confused.
Real good for that.
I'm still confused, and the question hasn't been answered on why I should give a fuck about these two anymore.
That would never answer that question.
I guess.
Never.
Shit was tragic.
No tag belts is on this title too. I just realized that.
Well, the tribal chief pretty much.
No tag matches. Ain't even gotta be about SmackDown. Raw wasn't there.
Hey, bro. First off, don't try to cut me off when I'm talking about the head of the table. The tribal chief. You tried to be slick. Anyway, the tribal chief caved in the head of Rey Mysterio, so that takes care of your SmackDown tag team titles. In Raw, I guess they could have went with the Viking Raiders, but I don't know why they didn't.
It could have been something like, it didn't even have to be a title on the line. Just, we didn't get no tax at all.
I mean, with the way that the card looked outside of the Charlotte and Rhea, I could see why. It was a great card outside of that, and Alexa Bliss.
This is what goes into the beginning of what I was saying. Instead of having that hour-long ass pre-show, where in reality we only got about like 8 minutes of wrestling through that whole pre-show. You know, you could have put 2 more matches in there. You could have gave us a tag match, or had a women's tag. It was on the line, but not on the line, but it was appearing. But still, you could have booked something better. You could have gave us something instead of giving us 1 match and 40 minutes of talking. They just saying the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah, but you know, WWE got to make that money somehow.
So now we got the main event. We got the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. You know, this match was good. Me personally, being a huge almighty fan, I was kind of disappointed at the end. I don't think the almighty should win by roll up at all. Now, if he lose by roll up, that's a different story, but he shouldn't be picking up no win by roll up. I do like the little segment where they did where MVP had came and pulled out the referee out the ring, and then he was talking his stuff to Drew McIntyre, and then just to back up and turn around and realize that he's stuck and he ain't got nowhere to go. And then Drew came out the ring and basically whooped his ass and hit him with a claymore. That was, I like that one. I also like the one where MVP threw his cane into the cage and let Bobby grab it for Bobby to hit Drew in the throat with it. I did like that little segment. And I also want to point out that when they was done with the cane and Bobby threw it, MVP, you can kind of see him in the corner reaching his hand inside the cage to see if he could grab it. That was kind of funny to me. But overall, the match was good. I hope that this rivalry is done. I don't want to see this anymore, just like with the Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. I've seen it so many times. I don't want to see it no more. This should be done. Just like the Almighty said during the contract signing. This story ends. It ends here. It's not going to end the way Drew liked it, and it didn't. But it ends here. It ends at Hell in a Cell. Keep it that way, WWE. Don't bring this to me. I don't want to see this on a Raw episode. I don't want to see this in Money to Bank. I don't want to see this. Please keep it. Leave it where it died at. Inside the Hell in a Cell. Please.
Yeah, I like the match. I think you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. I'm actually okay with the finish, because if you think about it, the finish happened because it's what Drew wanted. Drew wanted the Almighty in a Hell in a Cell so it could truly be a one-on-one match. When the referee got knocked out, the referee that was in the ring, he asked for another referee to open the cage and allow the other referee in, which in return let MVP in. And to me, the icing on the cake is them winning by roll-up. The Almighty winning by roll-up. So you still keep Drew strong, but you also get that lasting image of Drew just sitting there on the apron. Like, I had it. We beat each other's ass, but I pretty much had this win. And due to MVP, once again, doing those dastardly things, the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley was able to retain. It's just like, to me, it's like the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley and MVP just sticking it to Drew one more time, saying, fuck you. This is what you wanted, and we still found a way to screw you out of our lives and the title picture. I do agree with you. I would hope that they find a way to keep them apart. I don't want to see Drew and Bobby anytime soon. But it was still a good match. It was a great match actually. It was very violent, and they beat the shit out of each other, which to me sort of became the theme for this Hell in a Cell pay-per-view altogether. Decent to great matches in which they're just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that's what they told him. Like, go out there and just beat the shit.
Yeah, literally, just go out there and beat the shit out of each other, and just have a good time.
They sure did that though.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other. I can't say it enough.
Real quick, what's your favorite match out of the whole pay-per-view?
Bianca Belair versus Bayley, SmackDown Women's Championship, Hell in a Cell. It was a great opener, and those two knocked it out of the park. And that is, to me, that is one of Bayley's top 5 performances in WWE.
I can respect it. You know me, it's no question, it's no doubt. I believe everybody in the comment section would know I'm rocking with the Almighty. Even though I was disappointed at the ending, the Almighty is still my guy. He still never disappoints. But that's a wrap, guys. Go ahead and drop down your favorite match in this pay-per-view. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, I'll go by the name of Camilio Salamander. This is my co-host, KB the Mark, and we will see you soon.